Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
I can't stand my mom. I don't know anybody who can be sober around her.
An obsessed mom.
She says you stalk her. Did you chase her through the neighborhood?
A devious daughter.
You leave your job to go home and wake her up so she's not late for her job.
Alarm clocks couldn't wake her up.
I'm a very heavy sleeper.
You won't believe what happened.
You get kicked out of the Roosevelt Hotel.
The night before the show.
This guy was completely out of control.
He wanted to report that Candace attempted to rape him.
He got into the bed and took off his clothes. I don't put up with that kind of stuff.
Oh, hell no. You draw the line there. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Hey, how are you? See you, guys. Well, I want you to meet Candace. She's tall, beautiful, bold, and confident. Just ask her. She'll tell you that not only is she hot, she's classy, whip smart, fun to be around, and people always notice her. Now, her mother, Constance, disagrees and says it's all an act. The Louis Vuitton, the Mercedes, the designer clothes, and the bravado. She says Candace is really a lying, thieving, drug-addicted master manipulator and con artist. Things are so bad between the two that Mom says the police have been called at least 10 times in the past year. Now, how did Candace go from an honor roll student to out of work, out of control, and running out of time? Take a look.
I have a sick-ass relationship with my mother. She controls every single aspect of my life. And my mom and I fight every single day.
What do you expect from me? You expect me to keep throwing money at you, Candace?
Can get to the point where we can almost kill each other.
Fits of rage, anger. The cops have been to our house so many times, they know us, and they're a little tired of it.
A week ago, I chose to go out with some friends. My mother hopped in her work van and followed me.
Went around the corner to go see what was going on, and she's hopping in the car with 2 very shady-looking characters.
You don't know what the I'm doing.
And I screamed. I said, "Don't let her in your car and don't take her."
We were yelling, screaming.
I just didn't want her to go use. It scared me.
I lost it completely.
You don't know what the I'm doing.
She flipped out, swung her purse, broke the mirror on the vehicle I was driving, telling me she hated me.
When I was 23 years old, I wanted to get breast implants. So I opened a credit card in my mom's name.
I ended up paying them off.
Last year, I opened up another credit card under my mom's name. I spent $3,000. My mom still pays the bill for that. A year ago, I purchased a $30,000 Mercedes. I manipulated paycheck stubs to show that I was making $80,000, $90,000 a year. I hadn't worked for about 2 years. It's absolutely insane.
I don't know why she's not in jail.
My mom needs to leave me and my life alone and just stop.
The last thing you said in that little tape piece there, you said, is my mother just needs to leave my life alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she needs to live her life and I need to live mine.
Okay, you're how old?
I'll be 30 in a month.
Okay, and you live where?
With my mother. I know, and I knew that that would be brought up. Right.
So what the hell are you doing living with your mother at 30 years old?
Well, I have been spoon-fed my entire life, so I wouldn't even know what to do if I moved out. I mean, she does my laundry for me.
Have you crippled her to the point of dependency that she has to live with you?
Actually, I probably have. I've enabled her. I've paid a lot of car payments, a lot of bills, fines.
We're not talking about car payments. We're talking about, she says she doesn't know how to wash her underwear.
Well, I do that because I'm kind of particular about, you know, making full loads and washing whites with whites. So it's my stuff, yeah. And I probably should have stopped that a long time ago, among a lot of other things. True. True. I should have made her dependent a long time ago, or independent, excuse me.
Yeah.
I made her dependent, yeah.
Yeah, well, Freud gets it right once in a while. So, do you want her gone?
My heart really does want her gone. I just feel like I'm protecting her from the world because I don't like her choices at all.
Okay, so you're doing this to protect her.
I believe...
How's that working for you?
It's not working for me.
I'm to live up to what she thinks I should be doing. Like, basically, I'm never good enough.
Just
or
normal.
Whatever I'm doing
I just want normal.
Oh, normal. Do you know how many times I hear normal on a daily basis? Normal's boring.
She says you stalk her.
Okay, stalking, gosh, I fear. I'm scared to death for her. I'm scared to death every time she walks out the door. And that incident that happened last Friday.
She said you chased her through the neighborhood.
That's true.
Recently.
Last Friday, yes. I get home from work, she meets me outside, she wants $20 to go eat something with a friend, and then I get in the house and I'm rethinking this whole situation. She wants $20 and she says she doesn't want the person to know where we live, and she's walking down the street. Oh, I hopped in that car.
Them. She has to know their name, phone numbers.
No.
She wants me to take selfies with people I'm with.
Yeah.
Bring receipts of what I spend the money on. It's ridiculous.
Everything's a lie, Dr. Phil, though. Everything's a lie. If I give her money, she says it's for this, it's never for that.
Because I don't need to...
But don't ask me for money, then.
Well, then don't give
ask
it to me.
Did you chase her through the neighborhood?
I chased down those people in that car, and I told them, don't let my daughter in that car. And then I continued to chase her, and I was in a roundabout, and we were going roundabout, and she's chasing me with a purse.
She's 30, living with you. She's going off with some people, and you're chasing her through the neighborhood around a circle.
Absolutely.
Reversing and
I was
skirting around the neighborhood, and I'm running with my bag.
The police were called by neighbors for that.
You're running.
Completely.
Does this seem reasonable to you, Mom?
We went swimming after that together at my uncle's house. That's how sick it is.
We talked about the incident. We cried together. And then it was such a hot day in Northern California, we did go swimming.
Am I getting punked here?
Dr. Phil, I wish
You're chasing her through the neighborhood. You're tearing the mirrors off the van. You're slinging your purse, chasing her. So you don't get in the car, and then you say, oh, what the hell, let's go swimming.
This is after the police came to our house.
Oh, excuse me, I skipped the police. I'm sorry.
I'm gone.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah.
Because isn't this like trip number 10?
Yeah, like when they come up to the house, it's Candace, what's going on?
First name basis, right?
I've called them several times because I've had crazy in my home.
They're like, get coffee, get donuts, go by Constance's house. Go.
I see what her daughter's up to.
Yeah, it's a regular thing.
And you say you're trying to protect her, but she had a job. You leave your job for an hour to go home and wake her up and fix her something to eat so she's not late for her job.
I would leave my job, yes, I did. And I had neighbors, I called neighbors and family.
Dr. Phil.
Heavy sleeper.
Very heavy sleeper.
Oh, this is after purchasing 2 separate alarm clocks with high decibels that couldn't wake her up either. Because she's up all night doing
so what are you
whatever.
going to do, right?
I know,
I know. Drive home and wake her up and fix her something to eat.
And that was very recent,
dress
Dr.
her
Phil.
Get her to work, right?
I didn't,
What's a mother to do?
Get a life, that's what. Get a life.
She feels like she can't.
But you manipulate everybody. This isn't just your parents, right?
Yeah, I know. It hasn't just been...
You've even tried to manipulate my staff since you've been here, right?
No. But I'm sure you can probably bring something up that I'd love to see what you'd like to explain. Or,
okay.
Yeah. Let's do this. I'm curious what...
Well, here's a text exchange from Candace to our PA Elizabeth demanding alcohol. Candace, so I just checked in and I can't spend allowance on alcoholic drinks? That's a problem. Candace, I'm not going to eat $225 worth of food And I plan to drink while I'm in L.A., so our PA, Elizabeth, says, well, we don't provide alcoholic beverages, only food. Candace, okay, I'm out. I'm not doing that then because my mother gave me $30.
That is
Our PA, Elizabeth, says, well, we can't give you money for alcohol because it's liability for the show. We can pay for food and non-alcoholic beverages, but that's it. Candace, then I'm leaving because I want to enjoy myself like everyone else here is. I don't eat food.
I walked into a Miley
I could
Cyrus
care
party.
less about food. It didn't stop there. Next, I got a phone call from a security guard at the famous Roosevelt Hotel in Hollywood. It's the first time they've ever called, and you will not believe why. I'll tell you after the break. You did all this on $30? You said your mother gave you $30.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the big bottle, like, on super sale.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil, she reported her granddaughter missing.
My wife and I are accused of kidnapping our own child by my mother.
She wants custody.
Stacy accuses my husband and I of child abuse.
But now,
You say you have fled the state to protect your daughter.
the gut-wrenching news.
What these parents don't know, they actually lost custody of their daughter. They will find out today for the very first time.
That's
Constance says her daughter Candace's life is on self-destruct, and she thinks she's running out of time. Candace turns 30 in a few weeks. She lives at home. According to Mom, Candace has been fired from 8 jobs, fraudulently obtained 2 cars, lies and steals regularly, and has no plan to change anytime soon.
I've noticed that when I am actually working, I have less money than when I'm not. Because it's cut off at that point, you know, oh, you're working, that, you know.
That's
Well, and there's less time to plot
it's exhausting.
and steal.
Dr. Phil, it's been
And,
exhausting.
well, I mean, really, work is exhausting, and you have less time to plan and steal and come up with schemes. You're staying at the Roosevelt Hotel. This is in Hollywood. We're talking about the world-famous Roosevelt Hotel. If you get sideways with the Roosevelt Hotel, you've got to have gone way off the rails. Here's a statement from the security supervisor from Candace's hotel. On August 31st, at approximately 22:09 hours, a Hispanic male was walked off property via valet. He walked back on property via the orange exit and spoke with Assistant Director Corey Johnson. The Hispanic male stated that he wanted to report that the guest in room 309, Candace, attempted to rape him. He eventually walked off the property and did not return. Well, that wasn't the end of it, because then, Candace, you went downstairs. Approximately 10 minutes later, Candace went to the front desk and stated that she wanted to change rooms because there was a Hispanic male who took his clothes off in front of her and her friend and attempted to get in bed with her. Now, Mr. Johnson spoke with Candace concerning the incident that happened in her room and stated that Candace walked off and went back to her room when he was trying to acquire more information from the front desk. At 23:09 hours, Mr. Johnson made contact with Candace and advised that she is on a final warning. And if we have any other issues from her, they would be asked to leave the hotel. What the hell was going on?
This little boy was downstairs, and he came up to the room to have a drink with my friend and I and some other people. He got into the bed and took off his clothes. This guy was completely out of control, and we had to get him to leave. So he made up this story, went downstairs, told them this crazy story. So I had overheard that, and I went downstairs and asked to switch rooms. I don't put up with that kind of stuff.
Oh, no, hell no, you.
I don't.
You draw the line.
I do, though. Absolutely.
You draw the line there. Yeah.
It's not
Choices.
me.
Here again, these are choices.
But at that point, I was not even intoxicated. I was more disgusted. Yeah, completely.
I'm not surprised about any of this.
I can't imagine why we wouldn't give you money for alcohol.
Yeah.
See what happened on your mother's $30.
I don't even know if I drank at that point either. But yeah, I'm not really a big drinker these days.
No, you're more into other things, right?
You know, Dr. Phil actually has gone from one addiction to another, and it's just jumps. I mean, it could be men, food, alcohol, drugs, pills.
Well, we're going to take a look at that after the break. We're going to see what the course of this history has been. Mom's been protecting her. We'll see how effective that has been. We'll see what the course of events has been. We're talking about 29 years here. Constance says her daughter is a full-blown addict, whether it's drinking, drugging, drama, or denial. Candace says there's just no way she could be sober around her mother, so drugs are her only escape. She says, I'll agree. She says, yeah, she does drugs, but she does it because nobody on the globe could be around this woman and be sober. We'll be right back.
Because of Candace's drug use, I even had drug dealers show up at my house and demand money from me.
Recently, I did get drugs on credit. I did not pay him back. He found me, and I thought that he was actually going to kill me.
On the new season of Dr. Phil.
My dad sent me money to a woman in Mexico that he had an affair with. She had to have a lung transplant.
You paid for a lung, so she just showed up to a clinic with a lung in an igloo cooler, said, I'm here to get a transplant.
That's basically what happened.
Do you think maybe she's lied to you?
I just want to know the truth. Is my brother-in-law a monster?
An uncle too affectionate with his 16-year-old niece.
You're sending her a letter that says,
I love you with all my heart.
You put whipped cream on your neck, and Grace says you ask her to lick it off.
I don't remember doing that.
The creep meter is pegging over here.
Plus,
You were the facialist to the stars.
Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox.
accused of hiring a hitman to kill her rival.
Did you solicit someone to kill this man?
It was one of those, oh, I could kill this person. I should find someone to take him out.
You typed out a text message. I have found someone that can do this deed for me.
This fall on
Constance says she's at her breaking point because her 29-year-old daughter, his life is just chaos. It's just absolute chaos. Drama, lying, stealing, and drug abuse. Take a look.
Because of Candace's drug abuse, everything's a problem no matter where she goes or whoever she deals with. Her life is all drama.
I do drugs because I can't stand my mom. She drives me nuts, and I don't know anybody who can be sober around her. I have used cocaine when I was younger, alcohol, Xanax, opiates, methamphetamine, heroin. I've used pretty much anything to escape my mother. I've gotten money for drugs by stealing, and I've sold prescription drugs. I've made around $10,000 off of selling pills.
I just had foot surgery 5 days ago. I was given a prescription for painkillers. The next morning I woke up and they're missing.
Back in May, I was under the influence of Xanax. I fell asleep at the wheel, and I ended up flipping a $30,000 Mercedes 6 to 8 times. Recently, I did get drugs on credit. I did not pay him back. He found me and jumped in my car. He was hitting me. I was terrified. I thought that he was actually going to kill me.
Because of Candace's drug use, I even had drug dealers show up at my house and demand money from me. I told Candace I wanted to call the police, and she said, no, we can't do that with these people. Don't do that. They'll come back. They'll hurt us. They'll hurt you. They know where I live. Drugs are controlling her life. I'm afraid she's going to die.
Do you have any plan for changing this? Are you going to be living with your mother when you're 40, 50, 60? What's your plan?
Honestly, I have no idea yet. I mean, the ideal plan would be to do something that I love doing, okay, career-wise.
But you're a heavy sleeper.
Exactly. I would need, like, a night job.
Yeah.
Which would not be allowed because my curfew is like 9 p.m. on work days, so.
Yeah. Well, here's the problem. And I just want to pick this up at like age 20. We could go back, but at age 20, at this point, you're regularly stealing, pawning, and selling your mother's belongings. Right?
Right.
At age 20, that's your first arrest for forgery. And the forgery was you, right?
Correct.
She's signing checks.
Correct.
And going through that. Okay, so at age 22, you actually are arrested. You're resisting arrest, public intoxication. This is to the point that they've got to tase you to get you under control. Age 24, you're arrested again on a warrant. You didn't finish community service. You're arrested for fighting in public, and you're arrested for DUI.
Within about 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, age 27, you're arrested again. You're resisting arrest again. You're publicly drunk again.
Nobody else
You're
has been
assaulting a
arrested.
police officer again, but this time you also assault an EMT.
Yeah.
And you're violating probation. Why are you assaulting an EMT? They're generally there to help.
Right. Alcohol was involved with every single arrest. And when I drink, I get...
You just pointed out you're not much of a drinker.
Well...
All right, age
after
28,
that, yeah.
you bought a Mercedes-Benz with fake pay stubs.
That were legit, yeah.
But you altered them.
Absolutely.
They're not legit.
Well, mathematically, they were right on point as far as taxes and everything else.
I'm sorry?
Like, mathematically, with the taxes and the percentages and the amounts, everything added up, like, precisely. It was insane.
She thinks it was good. It was...
No, it was good. I walked off the lot with a $35,000 Mercedes with nothing down. It was
What do
good.
you mean they were legit? They were phony.
I know, but they looked very legit.
Okay, so you buy the Mercedes with fake pay stubs, which you consider legit because you did the math right.
They looked pretty good, and I can forward it to you because I still have them. In case... anyways.
I know you're really proud of them, but I don't need to see
I
it.
know. It was one of my better
moments. I know
moments.
you're proud of the math and all, and I'll give you an A on the math.
Okay.
But they were fake. You stole Constance's checks. You did at Nordstrom's credit card. You opened a credit card in your name.
Yes.
Then you transfer money from her bank account. You steal her ATM card. The police are called 10 times. We're getting too close now. You flipped a Mercedes because you were high on Xanax. You opened a line of credit in her name. You opened another credit card in her name. And you now, because you lost the Mercedes, you bought a Chrysler with fake pay stubs.
Not with fake pay stubs that time. I don't know, got lucky, I guess.
She's been very lucky, Dr. Phil, that she's not in jail right now. Or dead.
Did you give her illegal drugs to get her to come here?
Yes, I did, Dr. Phil.
How do you spell felony? Did you give her illegal drugs to get her to come here?
They were legal drugs. They were my drugs.
I'm sorry?
I had surgery not even a week ago, and they gave me prescription pain medication. And yes, I did, Dr. Phil. I gave her a couple because I wanted her to get some help that she needs, and I want her...
Okay, so like she did the math right, so her pay stubs are legit. You gave her prescription drugs that she doesn't have a prescription for, so they're not illegal.
I'm sorry.
How do you spell felony?
Okay.
So you're now a dealer?
I get it. I get it. That's wrong. You're right.
Thank you.
I get it.
You give her money to buy drugs.
No, not knowingly. I give her money, true, but never for drugs, knowingly.
Mom, let's be honest with each other, because I really want to make a change in her life. You're giving her money when you know damn well she's going to spend it on drugs. You know it, and I know it, and she knows it, and she knows you know it, and you know she knows you know it. You're just pretending not to know it.
Okay, I can go with that. I can go with that.
Are you telling me that you have not given her money when you knew damn well it was not going for whatever crap she was telling you? You knew she was going to take it and spend it on drugs.
I have given her money. She tells me it's for such and such thing, and I don't know. I believe her.
You give her $60 for a hamburger, and you don't know that she's going to spend it on drugs. Come on. Does she? Come on. You two know what's going on here. One of you be honest. At least one of you be honest.
I'm an open book person. I'll tell you how it is. She doesn't see me like that. She doesn't know who I am. My mother doesn't know who I am. She thinks I'm crap, liar, this, that. When really, like, she doesn't know who I am.
You are all about
You're telling me that when you give your mother some crap story about what you need, that she doesn't know you're going to go spend that money on drugs?
Oh, she knows. And she tells herself that maybe she actually believes her lies to make herself feel better. Absolutely. Completely.
The last thing I would ever want to do is hand her money saying, here, go buy drugs.
Here's a very simple solution. You don't give a drug addict cash.
Thank you. And you know what? I'm not giving her any more money. It's stopping.
You just don't give a drug addict cash. I don't care if they say, my hair's on fire, I need to buy an extinguisher. You don't give a drug addict cash.
Dr. Phil, when she was ending her job, in order for her to get to work, I bought gas cards, and I would pay for her cigarettes and hand her packs of cigarettes.
And you know what she does with those gas cards? She takes them to a kiosk, she cashes them in, and gets money for them. Do you not?
Absolutely.
How'd you know about that? I just found out about those.
Because I didn't just come in on a load of turnips. That's how I know about that. Next, we're going to add someone to the discussion. Constance's best friend since childhood, Sylvie. She wrote to me begging to help, not just one, but both of these women. Dr. Phil, I'm going to write every day until you get sick of me, she says. Well, I'm not sick of you at all, Sylvie. I want to meet you when we come back.
If Candace does not get her way, watch out. She'll punch doors and scream and yell. She's broken car windows. She just becomes extremely violent. Constance is scared of her.
Candace says her mother is overbearing, mentally abusive, and stalks her all because she is jealous of her. Constance's friend of 50 years, Sylvie, says Candace has always been a big brat, a snotty child that has turned into a cruel animal.
Constance and Candace are toxic together. If Candace does not get her way, watch out. She can just become insane. She'll punch doors and scream and yell. She's broken car windows. She just becomes extremely violent. Candace told me that she was taking Oxycontin, Norco, and smoking heroin. Constance has never allowed her to hit rock bottom. She's feeding the fire, and Candace is raging. One of them is going to die.
What do you think's going on here? What can you add to this narrative?
It is true. Constance keeps Candace within her grasp. She's allowed boyfriends to live there that have used and stolen from her. Candace also can be extremely violent and bully her mother. I won't say she's ever put her hands on her that I've seen, But I know she's very capable of being extremely abusive to her mother. And her mother lives in fear, but she won't let Candace
Do you
go.
bully your mother sometimes?
I have. I would never touch my mom. I would never touch her.
She's
verbally, yes, I've
she
been
comes up
violent
against
to
me.
her.
Her body gets close to me, and
Did I hear you right? You not only
finish my sentences.
are having your daughter live with you, she's moving in her drug addict boyfriends?
actually, Dr. Phil, I was thinking about it on this show, and she's had her last 3 boyfriends at my home.
This is so dysfunctional.
Oh, I
but
know
let me tell you something that you don't want to hear, but I'm going to tell you anyway. You think you're doing this for her, to protect her, to keep her safe. But the truth is, you're doing this for you.
It's your own selfish motives.
You're doing this to quell your own anxiety. It's like, at least I know where she is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you feel better in the moment.
Why?
And in the process, you have contributed to her being crippled.
I've said she's totally crippled. I didn't take it as me doing that, though.
You have to be willing to stop that.
I am today, Dr. Phil. I'm exhausted.
You're making all of this sacrifice, and it is not giving her a shot at a future. You're making the sacrifice, and she doesn't have a shot at a future. You're making the sacrifice, and all it means is that both of you are going down in flames.
I totally agree.
It's like, would you push your kid out from in front of a bus if it meant saving their life? You say, sure, of course I would. But would you just jump in front and both of you get hit if you knew it wasn't going to save either one of you? That's what you're doing here. You're not helping her.
I'm done. I'm exhausted.
That leaves this to you. If your mother listens to me, this gravy train is over. You can't live there anymore because you're not going to be allowed to live there anymore. So what are you going to do?
Well, exactly, Dr. Phil. What do? You just throw me out to, like, the wolves. So what do you do with no job, no money? How would I live on my own?
Well,
how would I even know how to?
Stop being a narcissistic know-it-all, for one thing. That's the... Seriously, you see things through your point of view.
That's what I know, and that's the problem, is like, I feel like when you are who you are, that is who you are, and it's very difficult to change. I've tried changing.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, Candace is going to tell me her alternative, and I am all ears when we come back.
Do you need Dr. Phil's help? Text Phil to 88500 and share your story for a chance to appear on the show. Standard message and data rates may apply.
We can't do this show without you, our studio audience.
If you are going to be in the Los Angeles area and you would like free tickets, go to drphil.com and click on Be in the Audience.
Or you can call 323-461-PHIL. That's 323-461-7445. I'm back with 29-year-old Candace, who is living with her mother, Constance. And I am telling Constance, you are not helping Candace by continuing to give her a soft place to fall, continuing to fund her, continuing to enable her to do a lifestyle that is not just drugs and alcohol, but also criminal behavior where she escapes having to become a productive member, contributing member of society. Candace says, so what are you going to just throw me to the wolves? You cannot cripple me my whole life. You cannot fail to teach me the fundamental skills of being an adult and then one day just stand up and say, I screwed up, but I'm going to stop screwing up. So you're just out there to the wolves. Right?
Absolutely, yeah.
I made your argument better than you did, right?
You actually did very well. Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
I should have my own show.
I don't know why you don't.
So, what's your alternative?
Get a job.
Okay, let's go over your resume. If I pulled up your history, I would see multiple arrests.
They've been expunged.
I would see well, I found them. I would see all of these assaults. I would see all of these drugs. You're smoking meth, right?
I was, yes.
Yeah, like as recently as a week ago.
A few, yeah.
The problem with meth, well, the problem with all of this is it puts some miles on you.
Right.
Here's before and after.
Oh, I've seen them.
That was 22 to 28.
Jeez. Wow.
The age here is shockingly just a matter of a few years.
Oh my God.
A matter of a few years. This is a 2.5-year age difference.
See, I don't get that. I don't understand how...
There's a lot you don't get.
I know. You're absolutely right. You're completely right. It plays tricks on you completely.
Yeah. You also say you know exactly when it fell apart and you started doing drugs.
Losing my father impacted my life to the point where my life has not ever been the same. The day of my junior prom, I was actually walking out to get my hair done. The phone rang, and it was a hospital calling to say that my dad had a heart attack and he died. At that point, I completely shut down, and that's when I started to use drugs. My mother went straight back to work shortly after he passed away. That was definitely the point where her and I should have gotten closer, and I needed her as my mom, and she was not there for me.
What would he want me to tell you?
My dad would probably like what you would have to say to me right now. He would say, knock the off, Candace, and move on. That's what he would say to me.
So he wouldn't be proud of what you're doing?
No, he would not.
He would want better for you?
Yep.
Well, when we come back, we're going to find out what Candace wants for Candace. We'll be right back. Want to get something off your chest? Sign up for the drphil.com community and weigh in on your favorite episodes and share your personal stories with other community members. Plus, get started on your own blog to share your thoughts on the topics that interest you most. I'll be reading those message boards. Log on to drphil.com today. I'm going to tell both of you where I think we are and what I think needs to happen, okay?
Okay.
I think you love your daughter. No question about it. I think you are a very well-intentioned mother. I think you have lost your way. You're well-intentioned, but you've created a perfect storm for disaster here. You need to stop doing that. You need to get your daughter out of your house and not give her a place to come and crash with her drug addict boyfriends, for God's sakes. How dumb is that? That means change the locks, whatever.
Right.
You have a serious addiction problem, and it coexists with some emotional disorders. And what I am willing to do for you is to set you up into a dual diagnosis treatment center that will truly find out what all is going on with you addiction-wise, mentally, and emotionally, and get you, for once in your life, no kidding, clean and sober and emotionally balanced. And then I am willing to get you a life coach that will work with you to make you a no-kidding life plan where you stand independently and can be proud of what you do. Is this some 28-day wonder program? It absolutely is not. This is probably going to take you a year. The first thing I would do would be to ship you off to a place in South Padre Island, Texas, called Hannah House, which is part of the Origins Behavioral Health Care. It's the nation's leading dual diagnosis treatment center. It's absolutely beautiful. It's on the beach down on South Padre Island. They have places in West Palm Beach. Robert Park, I asked him to fly in here today. He's the executive vice president from there. So you tell me, what do you want to do?
1 year out of my life.
I don't know. I would not say a year out of your life. I would say it would be the first year of your life. Don't you think we can put all this together for her?
Absolutely. Yeah, we want her to live up to her full potential, and we can show you how to do that.
Deal?
Yes. Oh, Dr. Phil, I can hardly wait to see.
All right. Deal?
Yeah.
All right. I want to thank all of my guests, and a special thanks to Robert Park, Executive Vice President of Origins Behavioral Health Care Center. We will see you next time. Thanks so much. Sylvia, thank you. Robert, thanks.
This is your shot.
I have to say goodbye to my mother-in-law.
Give me your word that you will go. You can say goodbye, and then you can go do the best thing you ever did for yourself.
Yeah, I will go.
Okay.
Hi, Dr. Phil. I just wanted to apologize for not being able to accept the treatment. I am currently involved in a trial involving somebody that I was in a relationship with. Given any other time, I would have been on that plane right away. I wanted to thank you, and I appreciate all that you've done as well.
Bounce, bounce, all the girlies bounce. Take 'em to my house, turn the party out. Bounce, 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 all the girlies bounce. Take 'em to my house, turn the party out.
You warned me 1,000 times, memories can kill ya, but I didn't hear ya. I thought that I could fly, but woke up on the asphalt. I swear there was the last time. I've always been naive, call it.
Ooh, you know we gon' get it. Ooh, you know we gon' get it. Ooh, you know we gon' get it. Every day and night, that's right. Ooh, you know we gon' get it. Ooh, you know we gon' get it. Ooh, you know we gon' get it. Every day and night.
Used to run, 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 only said and done. Mama, please.